Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, apparently democracy is dead in India. We are no longer a democratic country. In fact, we live in a country which is ruled by a dictator. Well, that's what one side of people are actually claiming.
क्या हमारा देश तानाशाही की ओर गिरता जा रहा है?
पीएम मोदी एक डिक्टेटर है.
भारत एक डेमोक्रेसी नहीं है.
And the other side says we are in the mother of democracies. We are in the largest democracy of the world. And that's the other side. Now, what do you feel? What does everyone think? What does the common working millennial think? Are we living in a democracy or are we living in a dictatorship? Hell, are we living in a monarchy where Narendra Modi is our king, our emperor? Oh my God, is that real? Well, I have a different perspective to it. And again, like everybody else's, this is just an opinion. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. You want to know more? Stay tuned for the entire video. Hello and welcome to this brand new video on the Indian Millennials channel. My name is Rohit Kutpad. I bring about contextual information based on things that are happening in India, in the world and in our beloved marketplace. Well, there's a lot of chatter about India being a dictatorship, India not being a democracy anymore, or India being 80%, 70%, whatever dictatorship, and the rest of it is just a small amount where we are still democratic. And then there's also a little bit of chatter being we are an electoral autocracy. Basically, we elect our autocrat. That means basically saying that I'm electing my own king. So how does it make it an autocracy? Anyway, there's a lot of chatter about it. I want to bring the attention of every one of you to simple facts. Simple things that have happened in our country which showcase why we are still a vibrant democracy. Alright? This is the map of India. These are the states controlled by the ruling party which is basically the central government, BJP. These are the states that are actually ruled by the non-BJP parties. It could be regional parties, it could also be I.N.D.I.A, which is a national party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if we were really an autocracy for the last 10 years, say 2014 to 2024, take a 10-year period, how could we see changes within state governments? I live in Bengaluru, which is the capital of the state of Karnataka. We have seen a BJP government go down and a Congress government coming into power. And you go around asking a lot of people, everyone will tell you that they actually voted for Congress. So it's not some sort of a weird conspiracy going on. It is democracy in action. People did not like BJP in Karnataka. That's why they elected Congress in Karnataka. And if people have chosen that, that means we were part of a process called voting, which is again a part of an entire concept called democracy. So this is where I say that we are still a democracy. Now, second thing that came up during the election season is the whole electoral bond scam or concept or whatever you want to call it. The electoral bonds were issued by the government of India in exchange for money from people or entities, and they would donate or they would give money to political parties, because like every other entity, even a political party needs money, needs capital to run their political operations. Now, some money went to BJP, some money went to Congress, some money went to other regional parties like TMC, DMK, Aam Aadmi Party and so on. Now, the point is, just go back a lot of years ago and just ask yourself, in 2011, in 2009, would you even get an opportunity to even look at data where money is actually going from one party to another or one company to the other? Would you know who is paying whom, who is kind of donating money to which party? Well, the point is simple. You never knew earlier. At least today we know. We know, okay, this is the data, these are the companies, these are the people who have invested money. Is this a foolproof concept? Definitely not, because it makes it very easy for the government to actually attack the companies that have not really donated to their party. And in the regional areas, it also makes it easier for a state power to actually go and harass the guys who actually donated money to the opposition party. It makes it very easy. But the fact is, at least today, it's visible to the entire public. What was not accessible in the past is now accessible today to each and every one of us. As in, if we are talking about it, that means we are aware of it. And if we are aware of it, that means there is access to information. If there is access to information, guess what? We'll still live in a democracy. That's why we have the access to it. Did you also know, this is a very major point, any case that happens in Supreme Court of India today is actually telecasted on YouTube? Every case, whether it's a case of the electoral bond issue, whether it's the case of, the government versus somebody else with respect to LGBTQIA plus rights, anything which is discussed with the Chief Justice of India sitting at the realm of things can actually be seen on YouTube. Now, if an inside court conversation is aired on YouTube which is accessible and which can be accessed by a huge amount of people in our country, guess what? Again, that is entire thing is a democratic process, and that's why we still live in a democracy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, breaking news. You know exactly when your city or your town or your area is going to vote during the upcoming general elections. I don't need to tell you, the data is available, everyone is aware when and where and how you and who your candidates are as well. You are getting an opportunity to go cast your vote and walk away. And if you have casted your vote in the right way, and whoever wins, you will find out the results anyway. But that again is a process of a democracy. So these are the 4 points that I would love to highlight, saying that, listen, let's not talk about this whole dictatorship stuff, because we still live in a democracy. Now the question that I would like to also raise, that are we in a proper democracy, or are we still work in progress? Do we have problems? Of course we do have problems. Yes, we see a lot of journalists being jailed. You see a lot of people going to jail for just speaking against the government. You have a lot of such activities happening. There are a lot of issues within our country which actually need to be addressed. And this is the reason why a few people would actually exaggerate using these issues, saying that, boss, we are no longer a democracy because this has become a dictatorship. But there's a fundamental layered truth and a very strong nuance here. If I talk about journalists, in the past, journalists were just coming in front of the camera and speaking whatever they wanted to speak from an opinion point of view, and they never had any rebuttals, they never had anybody questioning them or holding them accountable. But today, thanks to social media, today, thanks to, people having an opinion, and today, thanks to the superpower called a smartphone, everyone can actually hold a journalist accountable. But there's a method to do it. Do not harass somebody who is doing a job. Instead, question them or why they think what they think. That's a better way of doing things. So this entire process again is very democratic. There are a lot of people with different opinions and a lot of varied perspectives, and people are jailed, unfortunately, and things are happening in a negative way as well. But again, we are always a work in progress, and I have a strong hope, because I am a perennial optimist, that I would think all these problems would taper down eventually in the future. But when you say democracy is dead or we are a dictatorship, I would love to just say I 100% disagree with this, because there are certain processes that are working which are very, very democratic, and we will continue to be a democratic country. If things happen and if they take the change and turn, we will come back and make a video of that as well. But that's basically our opinion on this. But my opinion is based on facts, it's not based on emotions. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you agree with me, do like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And if you disagree, comment down, tell me why I'm wrong, and tell me why we are no longer a democracy. And let's have a debate, and let's have a civil debate, because the debating culture needs to come back, and we hope our comment section becomes that. Stay tuned for more videos from our channel. Until next time, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, goodbye.